Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles podcast, day 2 from Radio Row, presented by Bet365 and Ace Hardware Home Services. Download the Bet365 app and use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, and visit AceHardwareHomeservices.com to get started on your next project. Bo Wulf, Fran, Duffy, Super Bowl champion Vinny Curry rocking the ring, as he is just the star of Radio Row, just making connections all over the place. How you guys doing?
Man, doing pretty good, man. It's been a wonderful experience. Wonderful experience, man. Seeing a lot of some new faces, a lot of familiar faces, and faces I just haven't seen in a while. So just to, catch up with a couple of guys and, see you guys down here and be a part of this. It's been cool.
You dominated media night last night.
Yes.
We're going to give the listeners and the viewers a little taste of that later on in the show. What was that like for you?
Oh, man, that was an experience, man. Everybody couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, yo, man.
Like, Howie, I'm trying to be serious.
Yeah, you got to be serious, man. But them guys, let me just say this. They look locked in.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah, they look locked in.
How so?
Man, because they – everything was cool, and afterwards, they kind of snapped back into that mode of, locked in, and when other media outlets was asking questions, they got really, really serious. And it was like you could just see in their eyes that, determination, and you could just feel it that they was locked in.
As a player, how do you toe that line between being locked in and too tense?
Like it's a Monday,
right,
yeah.
I think it's one of those, okay, they had the flight, come in on Monday. They got to do this, but after a while, it's like, all right, come on now.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure they did some type of walkthrough or something before they even started. Today will be their off day, but then they get back to practice tomorrow, and then Thursday, and then nice little walkthrough on Friday, and here we are.
I mean, there's a bit of a difference between freezing cold Minneapolis in the Mall of America and nice weather in downtown New Orleans. But what do you remember about what that week was like for you leading into the Super Bowl in 2017? I know that it was February 2018, but we call it 2017. It was the 2017 season.
2017 season.
Yes. So just basically, the biggest thing we could remember was, first of all, it wasn't like everything wasn't kind of scattered. It was so cold outside, so
all
it
together,
made each other and our families, be around, the other players' families. So that was a cool little bonding period. So that kind of helped with the craziness of the outside world with media, fan-wise. It's kind of crazy now. Now the way they had media night last night set up was crazy.
Really terrible.
Crazy's a word. Yeah,
man.
Right. Really
I'm
bad.
Yo, man, it wasn't like that when we won it.
No, yeah, it was nice in Minneapolis.
Nice. Yeah, it was really well put together. You know what I mean? So,
and I would think too, as you reflect back on that experience, the 2017 season. I mean, you growing up as an Eagles fan, did you feel the weight of that, in terms of the fan base? Whereas if you were somebody that grew up, West Coast or in the South, and you didn't follow the Eagles, you may not have felt it the way that you did, right? Did you absolutely feel that?
I boo-hooed, man. I boo-hooed I just snotted my nose and everything. And then I just remember.
There's nothing wrong with crying.
Yeah.
I think it's a very manly thing to do, to be in touch with your emotions.
He comes over there, he's like, man, you better clean your nose, man. Man, your white brother come down here, man. You don't want your son to be down here on your nose. And then I was like, it's kind of good thing. Listen,
that's like me watching a commercial.
Yo, good thing it wasn't the memes, the Jordan memes and all that. Good thing it wasn't no memes out like that, man. God damn,
I do think, though, I don't want to make too much of this, but you got young men in their 20s in New Orleans. I would imagine that Dom is not super thrilled about the setup. This is a big Dom week.
If you blow this down here in New Orleans on the Eagles, you're out of here. I mean, you might as well say kiss your career goodbye.
Yeah.
I mean, who would want to touch you?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Big Dom give and that whole staff give you a lot of freedom, man. But you come down here and you mess it up, man. And you're on your own.
What is that like?
To keep that going too, right? The vets have to police that.
Yeah, but
what is it like? Curfews? How does it work?
Championship week. If you got to police that, then the guy just don't want to be here.
Sure,
right. Yep.
Sure.
You know, and then you want to be a distraction when it's already a million distractions walking around.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that guy. Do you want to be in the headlines? You know.
Well, this is like the connection stuff, right? Like you wouldn't just be letting yourself down; you'd be letting all your teammates down. You know,
and everybody. It's got to be hundreds and hundreds of media outlets here. Everybody's going to be talking about it. You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. That's true. How does it work? Like like what was curfew like?
So obviously curfew. You had to be back in by like 11.
Reasonably,
like
grown men,
11. Yeah. But I don't think, like, even in the hotel, we're staying at the team hotel. But even there, like, the players is among themselves and waiting for their families to arrive, and that's what I mean by kind of locked in. Just soaking it all in. Like this is the second one in 3 years. This is very important because those guys they did all that work from the beginning of everything, all the hooping and hollering to get to this point. So
yeah.
And I feel like it's interesting, too, because in 2017, that was the first time that whole group, for the most part, had gone through it, right? Where you had, I'm sure you leaned on the Chris Maragoses and the Darren Sproles, the guys that had done it before for other teams. This group, the Malcolms, obviously.
C-Long, Garrett Blunt.
The crazy part is we was at 100% participation for, OTAs, just the whole off-season program.
Yeah.
Everybody was there, so that was kind of cool. And that sped up the process fastest of everybody, all the newcomers getting to know each other and creating that brotherhood.
Well, speaking of that brotherhood, let's talk about one of your teammates from that team who is getting ready to potentially play in this game. That is Brandon Graham, of course. And Brandon Graham was at a Primo's down in New Orleans today. Jamie Lynch caught up with him for what is our locker room report presented by TrueMark Financial. Let's check that out now.
So, Brandon, happy 7-year anniversary from winning the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Nice, 7 years.
Today.
They had one in New Orleans.
What's the first thing that comes to mind besides the strip sack?
First thing to come to mind, if I had to say, is just the game before, just getting into it. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the experience, man. The moment when we all knew we was going. First time for me in my career to even make it to the bowl game or a championship game at any level. So it was very special, man. With my family, my wife was even crying, and my kids.
So you're now entering your third Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Did it hit you this week? Like, what a remarkable thing that is for a career in the NFL.
It did, man. Because a lot of people like, man, you made it 3 times, and it's a person that's been working 40 years in our staff that only went twice. 40 years, so to have done it in three years within these 8 years, man, it's like, wow. And so I don't take it for granted. I'm going to make sure I enjoy it every step of the way, and then make sure I prepare the best way I can so I can go out and help my team get a win.
So who's the most nervous member of the Graham family this week? Your kids are a little older, a little more cognizant now.
Right.
Are they nervous?
I think baby girl, if I had to say baby girl out of the kids is the most nervous, and wife always trying to make sure that I'm good, and so she nervous too.
So your defense is now one of the youngest in the NFL per age.
Yeah.
You're entering your third Super Bowl. How much are you getting in the young guys' ears this week about what to expect, what to prepare for, kind of how to pace yourself through this week?
Well, I've been just telling them, like, look, in these games, it's just the regular game. If you don't make it bigger than what it is, just make sure that you're doing exactly what we did to get here. That's executing, running to the ball, making sure that you're making your plays when they come to you, and then having fun with your teammates. And everything else to kind of solve itself. So that's my biggest message to them. That first play, once everything happens, it's just going to be like a regular game. And whoever execute the best, and whoever win the situations, that's who's going to go out and get a W.
And the guy you got the famous strip sack against is now up in the booth calling your game. A little bit of a cool moment there.
Oh, yeah, man.
You're Michigan, man.
It's like, man, it's nothing like being able to win against Brady. And then now he's calling my games, and it's like, man, you want to go out there and make sure that you give it everything you got because you know what's at stake.
Yeah, and how's the tricep feeling? Everything feels great in practice?
Oh, yeah. And I'm ready to go, ready to get it in fight mode.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to fight in order to get where we're trying to go.
And I heard Lane this week talk about halftime, and now there's more of a model of what to do.
Yeah.
You gonna be trying to catch Kendrick, or you guys all pacing yourself in the locker room?
Well, you know what? We'll probably play it in there on the way out. Like so that we can hear it, getting us ready for that second half. But I do know that we're gonna be able to see it on TV somewhere in there, and you want to make sure that you stay focused. Just like what's the task, and that's to go out and finish the game.
What's the most important thing going against Patrick Mahomes?
Most important thing is you got to be sound against him. He will find you. His I feel like he back there knowing what's going on, getting that ball out fast. We got to rally to the ball, get people on the ground, and then we got to stop their run because they definitely get started with the run. And you just got to play physical, man, because it's going to be one of them games because it's for the marbles, and everybody going to get their best effort.
And you had a front row seat all year to Saquon Barkley. Being on the defensive side of the ball, you got to watch him.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything like this season that he's had?
No, I haven't. And I'm happy to be a part of it, happy to be front and center of it. And now for him, I know he ain't do all this to stop now, so we got to go out and finish it.
All right, great stuff, BG. Best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Good stuff there from Jamie, catching up with the man of the hour, Vinny. What are your expectations for BG?
Man, like I told him last night, I say, I say, B, can we expect the boss up? You know the dance he does? And I said under the helmet, hopefully he's mic'd up.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's mic'd up. So we can hit it's the most, which is one of the most famous, funniest laughs. He has an insane laugh, which is contagious because his laugh so funny it make you start laughing.
The cackle.
Who's got the better laugh in the NovaCare complex, BG or Troy?
Oh man, well that's it. Troy, because Troy said, "Oh, young fella." Oh man, T-Roy might have him, man. T-Roy might have him on it. But if you ever met Brandon Graham's dad does the same exact.
Really?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
God.
Oh, that's really funny.
Oh my, they got the same exact laughs. So then me and B was talking one day, and I said, "Man, why you laugh like that?" He was like, man, I just, I just do that." So then I'm like, "Damn, so you don't really think my jokes is funny?" So then he's like, "No, I'm just saying that." So then his dad, like maybe a couple weeks later, his dad's in it for a game. I'm like, "Oh, Mr. Graham, what's up, man? How you doing, man?" We start talking about something. He hit me with the So then I'm saying it like this. All right, is he really laughing at my joke? Because it was so funny, bro. Yeah, man. He has a cool ass family, bro.
No doubt about it. I mean, and what a story it would be for him to go out for the season, come back for this game, help deliver a Super Bowl as the guy who helped deliver it the first time around. I mean,
we had to change his name.
Two?
BG 2 times.
Ooh.
Big Gang Graham.
Brandon SB Graham. I like, yeah. There's something there.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. There's also something there with some of our sponsors, but on the other side, I'm going to give you a little bit of a taste of Vinny on Media Night. You just got to wait a couple minutes for it.
Tease.
Yeah, it wasn't quite a coward one, but that's okay. Did you spend a lot of money recently? Maybe it was the holidays. Maybe it was playoff tickets. Maybe it was, I don't know, not working hard, whatever it is. Well, if you need to make that money back or pay off those debts faster, the best way to do it, TrueMark Financial Credit Union, because they have 0 interest until 2026 if you take advantage of an offer that is available until February 28th. TrueMark Financial is offering 0 interest on balance transfers for 12 months, so all of your payments can go toward reducing your balance, not just covering your interest. But here's the play. Transfer your existing balance from another institution to a TrueMark Financial credit card and take advantage of this amazing offer. Whether you are interested in earning rewards, cash back, or simply prefer a low rate for everyday purchases, with TrueMark Financial you can choose the credit card that best fits your financial needs. Visit TrueMark.com/compare for full details and to apply today. TrueMark Financial, federally insured by the NCUA, equal opportunity lender. Terms and conditions apply. All loans subject to approval. 3% balance transfer fee applies. Standard rates apply after the promotional rate.
And now we'll hear from our friends at Bet365 because whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide. Bet365, they also live stream 780,000 events each year. We're talking NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, whatever you're watching. You've got the early payout offers. You've got live in-game betting. There's betting across 78 different sports. So whatever you're into, Bet365 has you covered, and you have to know about their new customer offer, their new account offer, where if you sign up, you get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. And it doesn't even matter if you win or lose the bet. You bet $5, you get you deposit 10, you get $150 in bonus bets whether you win or whether you lose. And those bonus bets, they can be used on the spread, they can be used on totals, player props, futures, and anything in between. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in PA. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right. Are we ready to show Vinny, Julia? All right, let's check it out now. A taste of Vinny Curry, the star of Media Night, making everybody laugh. Oh, and this is our game ball, of course, presented by Xfinity, because I'm giving the game ball to Vinny for his performance. So, the game ball is proudly brought to you by our friends at Xfinity Mobile. Join the millions who have switched to one of the fastest-growing mobile services. Vinny Curry gets the game ball.
What can we expect from you guys pass rush on Sunday? Same thing we've been getting. Same thing y'all been seeing all season. We've been getting after it, and we feel like we're the best in the league, and we try to put that on notice every time we step on the field. I feel like they're the best in the league too. I think I say that every week, but you guys always backing me up, man, and I appreciate it. I just want to tell you, man, good luck, man. We proud of you. My God. So you here at your third Super Bowl. How does it feel?
It's awesome, man. I mean, each year is a new experience, different opportunity. They all feel different, but it's special. It's really special.
So, Jay, you guys think we got this, right?
We got it, man. I hope so. We're prepared. We got a great team. They got a great team. It's going to be a good show.
So let me ask you this. What do you think? What do you rate the experience so far, the atmosphere? Now, I know you guys only been here for a couple days, but what do you rate the experience here from the last two Super Bowls that you obviously experienced?
Yeah, I mean, we just, like you said, we kind of just got here. It's hard for us to really experience a lot of it. It's all for the fans, really, the show. But I keep hearing how good of a city New Orleans is for a Super Bowl, and I can't wait for my friends and family to get down here to really experience that.
There you go, man. Good luck, Jake.
Thank you, brother. Good to see you.
All right, thanks. Once again, we here before live from the Superdome. Got the Rookie of the Year, and I think most of us, all of us across the world, opinion. Man. Are you excited? Excited to be here?
Yeah, man. I'm glad to be here and grateful to be here.
So everybody want to know, man, what can we expect? What can we expect, man? The momentum. What's like the team feeling going into Sunday's game?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just eliminate distractions. Just going out and just doing our job.
All right, man. You heard him here first, man. My God, man. Thank you, bro. No doubt, man. What up?
We outside, Eagles. We in the dome. BJ's and gumbo.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
Right here? Yeah. Let's do it. Yo, this is Vinny Curry here with PHLY podcast. Like I told y'all before, I even seen him today. I told him that it's going to be all straps tomorrow, man. And we was talking about, we was all talking about this weekend. Vinny Curry, they asked me, who are you most excited to see on Sunday? You know what I said, CJ.
I say me, but I'm also excited to see Devontae Smith come home and like, remember last time he came home in college what he did?
Oh, he went crazy. So everybody remember that.
I'm kind of hoping something big for Smitty. I think this is the game Jalen do everything he needs to do.
My man. Yo, you heard it here first, man. So, here we go. Yo, CJ, appreciate you, my brother. Yo, man. Good luck, baby. Reporting here live from the Superdome on the PHLY podcast. Got Connor Baldwin here. Connor, you guys have been phenomenal all season. What is the mentality? Where's the guys thinking? Everybody ready? Everybody's going crazy on Sunday. We want to know what's the mentality around the building.
Hey, I'm not allowed to do interviews, only players and coaches, but only for you, Vinny. I'm doing this interview because you're the man. Happy to see you. Happy you're here. You're doing a great job on
Thank you, Bubba.
PHLY.
Yeah, thank you.
How are you doing, man? How you feel being here?
Yo, listen, the PHLY podcast just want to know, can we get invited to one of your events?
Yeah, MTWV events. You're invited, man.
Whoa, you heard it here first.
That's fantastic.
Outstanding.
And just a taste. We didn't, there's Howie in there. There's BG you're yelling at. There's Slay. You're asking him about banana pudding. Fantastic.
Man, what
a pro.
What a night, man. Oh, my God, what a night. Oh, I couldn't stop laughing.
You got the Connor Barwin exclusive?
Yo, man, telling you. He's like almost like, it's not, you want to say inside the locker room. I want to go inside the brains. What are they thinking? What is you guys talking about that we don't hear? Give me an exclusive. They couldn't take me serious, man. Come on. Give us an exclusive.
The chat's loving it. The chat loved it. Everyone loves your energy through the entire thing.
Fantastic. We also have a super chat in the chat from Brandon who says he wants to thank you for getting BG to notice him during the Super Bowl parade. He was doing BG's sack dance, and you caught BG's attention to make him see it.
Well, listen, we need him to do it again, meaning we need to have another parade, but this time I want to be in the crowd going crazy. Yo, listen, I'm probably about 275, so I want to do the surf. Just pass me back.
Okay. I think there'll be enough people to make that happen.
I want you to power rank these memories.
All
right, from 2017. The winning the game, the party the night of, getting the ring, and the parade. What's the number one thing you're like, man, like this was the absolute best?
Winning.
Okay.
Parade.
Yep.
Ring, and then after party.
That's a good order.
I think that makes sense.
That's a good order.
Because the after party is like you celebrated at the game. Like that's when it hit. So, and you must be tired. You got your family there. So but the parade, I would imagine, is after the game itself. What's special?
The ring, though, to get in that ring was hard because at my little stint, a lot of guys that went on different places and stuff. So you had to come back, and the team, whatever team you on, you can't miss this.
Yeah.
So you got to go back. Ooh, that's when you say, what am I doing, man? It's crazy.
We talked about this last night. You said you regret leaving in 2018, but I think if you don't,
I came right back.
You came right back, and if you don't leave, you don't know that you missed it, right? Like then you might have been wondering the whole time, like, oh, what would it have been like to be a full-time starter somewhere else, or to be in a different organization?
And it was crazy because, like I said, I missed like 10 games. I never missed that many games before.
Yeah,
and I missed like 10 games with a lightly broken ankle. And
yes, of course, a lightly broken ankle.
Perfectly normal.
But it led me right back to Philly. And we were a crazy hit away from Clowney.
Yeah.
We was going again.
Yeah.
And
remember that?
That was when you came back in 19.
19. Yeah. We was right there. Team was rolling. Defense was rolling.
That ring ceremony, you got the ECW arena. I know.
That was crazy. And the way they did everything, like first of all, like they had like a pre-celebration thing, and it was like, I feel like everything was all white.
It was. I missed that. I wasn't there for it.
Really?
Yeah, I was on vacation and we couldn't go. I tried to come back in time.
And for everybody, all the viewers, understand this. I'm not a big drinker. So I need about a drink and a half, and then I'm like, whoa, as big as I am.
Yeah.
But that particular night, I think I had about 3 drinks. So I feel like when we walked up and got out the car, everything was like all white. I'm like, dang, everybody's dressed in black. Continent was like, and that's all I remember.
What about the parade? Did you drink the parade?
Nah, I soaked that in.
Yeah.
Dude, I had this, Ashana had put me on this GoPro because he had a GoPro at the Super Bowl. I'm like, man. What is that?
Before the glasses.
Yeah, bro.
Which we didn't see in this video. The meta glasses. You should have seen last night. Vinny, Zach is so jealous of those glasses.
I had the meta glasses on last night.
You ever seen that meme where the guy bites it? He bit his lower lip.
He's like, here's you guys.
I asked him. I said, yo, Zach, you want to wear these? I told him he could wear them. Go ahead. But those meta glasses,
never seen him so excited.
Quality of them things
it's crazy.
It's good quality.
Yeah, fantastic. Another super chat from Mad Do who says, referring to the conversation we were having earlier. Could McNabb have been blackballed for puking during the Super Bowl game? I don't know.
Food poisoning.
What we got to bring up those memories. You know?
Hey, listen. At the end of the day, you know what that remind me of? You know what I tell my son? And please, y'all don't go on his little page and tell him that. You know, I tell my son, the movie Interview Sunday. You know, that's just they copy off. You know, for McNabb. You know, so he's like, wow, he's like a movie star. Shit, like his character. Yeah. You know, but McNabb is also one of my favorites. You know what I mean? So I think he had some bad food. Could have been bad food.
Could have been anything. Yeah. No doubt about it.
Jacksonville.
People are asking about Zach, by the way. The Eagles are having availability right now, so we've got a little bit of a conflict. It's good to have. We got a nice rotation here. We can let everybody eat. So Zach is over there talking to some of the players on the podium. We will find out later today at 5 o'clock, or rather 6 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock New Orleans time, what he heard from those guys. So it's fun. We got all kinds of moving parts.
Fun combinations we get to explore all week.
Now, you mentioned Tampa, your stint in Tampa. We did see Gerald McCoy earlier. He sat down with us. We'll show you that later in the show. But that was a good conversation just about this defensive line, which you have been all over all season long, Vinny. Fran, let me ask you, in this game, in this Kansas City matchup, who among that Eagles defensive line is like the guy who, if you could pick to have their best game, who would it be?
Jalen Carter.
Okay.
I think if you had an A-plus performance from Jalen Carter, that tilts the outcome of the game. I am interested to see what Kansas City's answer is for Carter.
It's really interesting to me.
Yeah, because look, we know that he is capable of wrecking the game. What we've seen from opposing offenses in games this season when they've got a really good right guard is that they have felt comfortable saying, all right, we're going to leave our right guard one-on-one, and we're going to slide to Milton Williams, and we're going to give extra help elsewhere. Look, Jalen's been playing awesome down the stretch. I don't know, and Trey Smith is a great player. So how often they do that, I think it's going to be fascinating. And look, last week in Washington, they moved Jalen Carter around a little bit where he did line up some at right defensive tackle, and not all, because he's been primarily the left defensive tackle over the right guard. He did a handful of snaps where he's lined up on the other side, which we haven't really seen all season. For as many snaps as he's played, he's basically just been over the center or over the right guard. And last week they changed it a little bit. Like we're talking like 2 or 3 snaps. And so, is that something that maybe they were exploring to try and see if they can get him over Caliendo? And if that's the case, they are going to slide that way. I can't imagine they're going to leave Caliendo on him one-on-one.
And then you get Milton on Trey Smith one-on-one, which is more of an even matchup. Go ahead, Vin.
That's no, I was just saying that was great stuff. That's one of the questions that we asked it.
Yes,
Gerald.
What he thinks they might do.
And I feel like he had the whole tape played in his head. I feel like I was there.
It was impressive. Yeah. Wait till you hear it. He's all over it.
It was good. It was good.
Do you from having played with Fletch? Did he care much about which side he was on? Left defensive tackle, right defensive tackle? Was he willing to go either way?
Depends how that's a good question. Depends the flow of the game.
Okay.
It depends the flow of the game.
Find the fish.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, that core rotation, but down the stretch, we definitely will find the fish. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta put your best defensive lineman on them. This is what it is. You know what I mean? And collectively, we knew that.
I do love. We've talked about it before, but the story that Chris Long tells about was he and BG were almost going to get in a fight because they both wanted to go against the same guy.
Listen. Listen,
it's so funny.
Understand this. So, me, I could play. I don't. Me and everybody know I'm like the best team player. Like, put me anywhere.
We know that now.
In the jungle, I'm coming out with chinchilla. I'm gonna make it happen. Well, BG and Chris Long only love the left side. Oh my God, that used to be crazy. They funny.
It was like there was a specific right tackle who was just getting killed, and then they both wanted to go on him.
Yeah, bro, they are funny. But like I said though, depending on the flow of the game, now you slide BG inside.
Right.
Let me get that TB. Game over. That was crazy.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna bring in our friend Shawn Syed from Sumer Sports. Come on, we got a fourth chair here.
Here we go. Here we go. How you doing today?
Talking a little ball.
Good, man.
Vinny, Shawn, Vinny, Shawn,
Yes, sir.
Fran.
Yes, sir.
Fran. I hear you now, Shawn. I hear a little bit jealous. Fran going to the Shrine Bowl.
Shrine Bowl, look at you.
Senior Bowl. You guys were having some meals together.
It was a good time. You know, it's good to see Fran working his process. You know, I will say, I'm a diehard. You know, no free ads, but we're on the show. I'm a diehard.
Very much.
Seeing Fran, he's putting out his draft notes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Fran, you're just giving that stuff away at a reasonable price.
At a reasonable price, in which, by the way, we're on the discount. I know we've got the info on the discount right now, so you can go and get those notes as well as all of our previews for Sunday at a discounted rate right now that you got to take advantage of.
$36 a year right now.
It.
Can't beat that. Special Super Bowl deal to become a diehard. So now is the time. Shawn, we were just talking about this. I'm curious your thought. How do you expect the Chiefs to go about handling Jalen Carter in this game?
To me, you know, your situation is Jalen Carter. He's in that 3-tech. He's going to be lining up over right guard. So your situation is, are you sending two guys to Jalen Carter? At that point, it's Caliendo at left guard, kind of one-on-one with my guy, Milton Williams, who I think he has really, really excelled this season. So for me, I think early on they'll test, is Trey Smith going to be one-on-one okay in that situation? You're going to bump the center kind of in the opposite direction to deal with Milton Williams. So at that point, it's on Fangio. Are we going to stunt those guys inside? Are we going to get an end kind of bumping inside? I think it's going to be a defining matchup for the game.
I feel like between the four of us, we need to have a who's my guy on the Eagles defensive line. I feel like you've got Nolan.
Yes.
You've got Milton, Shawn.
Absolutely.
I guess I'll take Jalen Carter.
Oh, look at that. What a touchdown.
All I'm going to say is I had Nolan Smith as like a top 10 player when he came out 2 years ago. I had Milton Williams as a top 50 player when he came out a couple years ago. And I had Jalen Carter as a top 5 player when he came out a couple years ago. So
I mean, now he's advertising for himself. He's got the results to advertise for it.
And you had Moro Ajuma as a top whatever player.
I was giddy when they took Moro Ajuma in the 7th round.
Who we ran into last night as well.
That's right. You got to talk to Moro a little bit.
Yep. We specifically ran into him last night, and, you know, he was introduced to me, and we had a great conversation, you know, off camera. Now I think I became a fan. You know, I have to go back on, you know, after the season or after the game, I want to go back and watch every play he was in.
Shawn, what else about, let's stay on this side, Eagles defense against Chiefs offense, aside from that protection scheme, what is the most interesting matchup here to you?
I think dealing with, you know, Travis Kelce at whatever point he's at in his career, but finding out how many situations where you're going to get Oren Burks in not a one-on-one, but in a zone kind of match around Kelce, where, you know, when the Dolphins played the Chiefs last year, Fangio had a lot of ways to deal with Kelce where you're getting kind of a bracket within your zone coverage, but those situations where they go empty, you're going to have Kelce lined up against Burks. You know, what is the just idea from the defense to kind of help deal with that? Again, you know, Travis Kelce's at a different point in his career. He can still get open. So I think what the Eagles have in store there is something I'm certainly watching.
What do you think they'll do?
Hope for the best. No, I'm just kidding. I do think you'll get situations where maybe if Kelce's constantly breaking out, then you play the cornerback kind of down to that side as well. I just really liked in that game against during the regular season last year for the Dolphins, where now you have a linebacker on Kelce's outside and a safety kind of from the other side. So that's how you're creating your double team, and that's kind of a way that, you know, not as many teams are approaching it that way. So they're going to dedicate resources, but, you know, I'm a little worried about, like, Xavier Worthy has really been improving, I think, over the last few weeks, watching him kind of get into the flat. That's another area of the field that, you know, big alarm bells.
Yeah, I have to say I agree. You know, Big Red is going to pull some stunts.
Some stuff up.
He's cooking. You know, because we sit here, we talk about the defensive line, right? But how do you slow those guys down?
Quick throws, throw them screens.
And that's where they've excelled the last few weeks.
Lower that time to throw.
Exactly about to say. So I would say we'll see a CJ versus Kelce matchup super early, right? But, you know, those backs are going to be very important. Is our backs better than, you know, and the reason going to say is our backs better than their linebackers? So we're going to need our linebackers to have a great game, I think so.
Absolutely.
Now, Vinny, so you know, Shawn is like the Vic Fangio expert. He wrote the Book of Fangio.
The Book of Fangio.
Okay, so he knows what's going on. And as you were starring last night, I got to witness what I found to be like a very romantic scene, which was Shawn getting to see Vic Fangio, the two of you guys together. What was that like, Shawn?
Look, I'm an emotional person at level. Like, that is me. I mean, look, the article I wrote about his defense, like, that got me the job that I have now. So it was really special just getting to talk to him, kind of really questions that I've had for a long time. I mean, was there a teary eye? I don't know, Bo. You know, you'd have to ask Zach. Zach's not even sitting at the table right now. He's doing his reporting. He has to do the reporting on that. It was special. Funny. It was really special for me to be able to do that.
Was there acknowledgement? Did he?
I mean, Bo, you got to have Zach. You got to get the on-the-ground reporter. You know, some things are between Uncle Vic and I, you know?
There you go. Hey, it's like that one time that I was at NovaCare and I seen him eating lunch by something. I chop it up with him for a little bit, but he had that watch this look in his eye, and then we the Super Bowl now.
Yeah, special season.
After the bye week, it was just wow, like damn.
Great question in the chat, by the way, from AWOG. Did Shawn and Vinny ever go head-to-head in high school?
Yes.
What? Look at
You
what do you think of that? Can you show you?
He was a quarterback in Jersey.
Where?
Yeah, I mean, it was up north near Hackensack. I mean, I went to Bergen Tech, so did we have the best record? No, we didn't. But like, we played against Paramus Catholic. And
okay.
So what school did you end up going to?
Neptune.
Okay. Yeah.
From Neptune.
I'm not going to compete. I mean, look at me. I went to law school.
We have a super chat who says they want Fran to break down your high school tape.
Maybe that's an off-season episode.
It was a spread up tempo. Let's keep things moving. Play a little cornerback, you know. But yeah, look at him and look at me, guys. Come on.
You got a few more minutes before we go to break?
As long as you need.
All right, fantastic. Quick break here, and then back with more with Vinny Curry, Fran Duffy, and Shawn Syed of Sumer Sports. Tell you about our friends at Ace Hardware Home Services. Ace Hardware Home Services, what do they bring? They bring three things. Number one, experience. Local plumbers and techs who handle everything from repairs and seasonal maintenance to installations and upgrades. Number two, they bring understanding. We listen to your goals and the job isn't completed until you are satisfied. And number three, they bring helpful to your home so you can spend more of your time on the projects that really matter. I can speak to this myself. I had the good folks from Ace Hardware Home Services help me out with a little water heater issue a couple weeks ago. Same day they came, fixed it. Great stuff. Cannot recommend it any more than that. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at www.acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project.
And now we'll hear from our friends at Game Time because, look, Game Time's almost here. We've got one game left on the schedule here. Super Bowl Sunday here at the Superdome down in New Orleans. And all the reports are that the ticket prices are starting to drop a little bit. And you know that you're not going to get any better deal anywhere than on Game Time. Now, Game Time, they've got the curated deals to make it easier to find the best price on great seats. The Super Deal is the best value for that event, and you get the seat views before you buy. You have the on-time ticket delivery, the lowest price guarantee. So maybe you found a way to get down to New Orleans. You got a place to stay. You want to make sure you can stay nearby. There's plenty of nice places around here that you can get a room for the night. If you could find your way down here to the Big Easy, well, then you've got the ability to get into the game, go download Game Time, and again, you've got the low price guarantee. You've got the seat views, so you can make sure that you can see all the action right from your seat. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHLY for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Download Game Time. What time is it? It's game time.
All right. Let's talk the other side of the ball, Shawn, as the Eagles offense goes up against Spags and this Chiefs defense. I guess, the big question for everybody, right, is how are they going to handle the blitz and the funky stuff that Spags is going to throw at them? What's your level of confidence in how the Eagles handle that?
I do think, Jalen and with Kellen Moore, the offensive line, they have improved in how they've dealt with the blitz this season. I would love you don't want to see the blitz at all, obviously, but if Spags is blitzing and playing man coverage behind that, come on. You're pressing the A.J. Brown button over and over. When Spags gets to some of his zone blitz stuff, that's where I think I get a little bit nervous. I think that Spags does a really good job of forcing you to keep your running back in pass protection. And look, Saquon Barkley is going to throw his shoulder at anyone that's going to run through him. But I would love to see him kind of out on some of those routes. So that's definitely a situation where, you hope that you're able to run yourself into positive situations where we're not in 3rd and 6+, and that's when Spags can get really funky.
To that point, 50%, over a 50% pressure rate off zone blitzes. Number 1 in the NFL, 2.61 yards per attempt off zone blitzes. That's number 2 in the NFL. They're one of 2 teams to use both sides, both man and zone blitzes, at least 15% of the time. And so they will vary up those looks, but I agree they are far more effective when they use those zone pressures, and Jalen has been less effective when he's been zone blitzed. And so my guess is we'll see more of that from Spags in this game.
I feel like we got like a Scheme Talk Avengers situation going on.
I see it. If Noah's watching this, I don't. I think his guy knows that, and his guys going to prepare for that. And then, like I said, Jalen is, I think he's going to have the best put-together game we've seen from him all season.
I think, I mean, he's played his best in big games. I also, because of that, I expect this to be a pretty big, like, Jalen Hurts running game, right?
Yeah.
He's got nothing else to save it for.
Yep.
They did that a lot in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. We saw him move, I think, pretty well in the NFC Championship game despite the knee. I think that would change some of the things for the Eagles' offense.
Or if you zone blitz and you hand that thing off to 26, then what?
Yeah, no one's going to be. And I think about the Bills. The Bills were able to really run successfully on the Chiefs. I think that the Eagles' running game is a lot better than the Bills' running game. So I think that is absolutely a positive situation. And you talk about, Hurts' best game. To me, I know you were a little bit maybe more critical. To me, it's that last game he played against the Commanders. Probably his best game maybe in 2 years, even if it's not the greatest game that was ever invented. I don't want to say that. But to me, they're moving in a positive direction. Would have liked it earlier in the season, but hey, it's here now.
Yeah.
Sure, you don't complain out of me. I'm a big Jalen Hurts guy.
Bigger game in this game, A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith?
Oh, I do love. I asked Devontae Smith, I was like, hey, what's your favorite route to run? And he's like, oh, the one that gets me the ball. It's like, oh, Devontae, this is great stuff. I do think you can't match up one-on-one with A.J. Brown. I think from a body types perspective, maybe you go Watson. He's that 6'2" type of player against Brown a little bit more. I think when Devontae's in the slot, I think that's going to be a positive situation. I'm just kind of vamping here to try and think of an answer for that very clear question there, Bo. I do feel like it can be Devontae Smith, where coming into this season, that's where, Kellen Moore loves the slot. How things have worked out. It's not as much for Devontae, but so much attention has to be paid to AJ. I think he's going to be able to get his, but I'd love to be able to see, Devontae get over the 100-yard mark.
I feel like that is like if there's something that's going to be like a very special game plan, right, for this one specific game, you got 2 weeks. We saw it in week 1. Devontae was like 75% of his snaps in the slot. I feel like that could be like a button that you press to try to catch him off guard because we know he's so effective there.
Yeah. I kind of think this is more of a Devontae game, too. I know, Vinny, I know you agree. I think that this might be a situation where you move him around. I agree. You get him in the slot. The last time these two teams played in the Super Bowl, McDuffie was the slot corner, and he had a little bit of a rough game in that one. But when you look now at Shamari Connor, he was their big nickel last year as a safety by trade. And he can match up with the slot. He's a really competitive player, but going up against Devontae, that's a matchup I like.
And, Bo, you got to understand something. The last time Devontae played a championship game in Superdome, it got pretty ugly.
Good call.
Look, Devontae Smith, he is a football
He's coming
player.
home.
Yeah,
that's very nice.
In front of all his family and friends.
Now, I believe one of the more underexplored parts of your appearances on Philly Special, Shawn, has been the movies. We got to talk about them. How many movies have you watched this year?
We're in a new year, as you know, Bo.
Okay, 2024. How many movies?
I think it was 133, which is about like a little bit over 2.5 a week. Yeah. Hey, you watch the film from the games. You watch this film at home.
How do you keep track of that though? Like how do you know it's 133? You have an
Letterbox.
Letterbox. Come on, Fran. What are we doing here? There's an app for these things.
I want to ask you
something.
What's a good app? It's called Letterbox. There's no E at the end. It's a callback to the framing of. That's a very different show, I think.
I want to ask a couple 2024 movies Eagles comparisons.
Oh gosh.
So I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Let's start with Conclave.
Okay, Conclave, kind of down the middle. You know what you're expecting. That is exactly like my dad loved the movie. I enjoyed it. I think a really, really good score. I think when you look at just a dependable player on the inside, I think you have a Cam Jurgens who is
nice.
He is exactly where you need to be when you need him to be there, just like the way that Conclave was.
It begins with C. The center.
That's what I was
going. Yeah, that works. Okay. How about Honora?
Okay, Honora from Sean Baker, an indie filmmaker starting out, I think, really, really just improving to another spot where, people ask, hey, when you get to that bigger level, are you going to be able to produce? Maybe we go Mekhi Becton there, where Becton has, he showed things early on. I think, Sean Baker, director of Honora, had a better start to his career maybe than Mekhi, but you get with Mikey Madison there in that situation, and it's a really positive spot there.
This is insane.
It's really great to watch you go through it. As you went through it, I'm thinking Saquon. Because I'm like, Sean Baker is like, he's really good in this box. Mm-hmm. Can he give him all the tools? What does he do? He makes the best movie of the year, in my opinion.
I think that's fair as well, Bo. I'm a preparation guy. I'm a preparation guy. When our good buddy Sheil Kapati is like, hey, we're going to talk about this, this, and this, I would like it maybe just Sheil, is Sheil listening to this? I don't know. Maybe just a touch earlier, Sheil. That's for the side. Just kidding. Sheil,
how about D? Didi?
Okay, when I think about Didi, a movie about, up and coming, like you are rising as a human being.
Yeah.
You're coming into your own. You're really developing. To me, when you think about the Eagles roster overall, people that are getting into their spots, it feels like a N'Kobe Dean, where N'Kobe Dean, I think, really, really hit his stride this season. The injury for Dean, it breaks my heart. Just seeing the way that he played the entire season was great. Didi is from a filmmaker that he is going to consistently be someone that you're going to have to be on the look for, and I feel the same about N'Kobe Dean.
This is electric.
N'Kobe Dean. This is unbelievable.
All right, this is an important one. Amelia Perez.
Okay, so... But, I guess I wonder when Bo asked me to come on, it's like, how long is it going to take till I have to, answer a question that are my bosses going to be upset with them? When you think about Amelia Perez, look, it's like a ton of nominations. I will say it was not for me. It really wasn't. I think they tried a lot of things. It wasn't the situation.
What I would say, I'll let you think about this, because the way that I would say it is it's the worst movie that I've ever seen in my life. And I don't say that hyperbolically. It fails on every level. It's offensive. It's cynical.
I know where you're going with this.
It's awful. It's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. There probably is not a proper Eagles comparison here, but.
Thanks, Bo. Really, now I get to feel how I do think I'm not maybe not player to player, because when you really look at the Eagles roster up and down, they're all so good. They've all played so well this year. I do think
you can go to last year if you want to.
I'm thinking there's maybe aspects of last season that that second half defensive collapse. It felt like, hey, maybe that's in Amelia Perez. Where now there is kind of a second half collapse. I mean, that's your words, not mine. Certainly, Bo. As Bo knows, the company I work for has NFL team clients. Am I going to get in trouble with anyone? We're going to find out. I think in about 30 minutes.
What's your favorite movie of the year?
Not even close. Nickel Boys. It was fantastic. I saw the TV go a close number 2. Nickel Boys is a movie where it retrains your eyes. It makes you see in just a different way. I don't know what these guys like. I mean, I come on here pouring my heart about the beauty of cinema.
No.
I'm giving you my. Oh, you guys.
You can show it to him. You can show it to him.
It's definitely going to be a don't get fired type. Oh gosh. I want to see the super chat about who they would guess. I do think he might be right. I do think he'll be right. We're not going to give any notification.
The right answer is in the chat somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. Look, it was nice to talk to the Eagles players. But yeah, Nickel Boys number 1. Go see it. Hopefully you can see it in a theater. It just, it's a different way of looking at the world. Like, how can you even see the world in this way? That director Ramel Ross showed through that camera.
I want one more from you, because we talked about it, and this goes to your background, which is so unique. Sing.
Oh yeah, my background. I'm a lawyer by trade. I guess I'm not doing too much lawyering anymore. Sing Sing. It was beautiful. It was emotional. You had these formerly incarcerated individuals. My background is in criminal justice reform. But now I just talk about football. So how much did that go to, right? And so they had people who were formerly incarcerated individuals in all of those actor roles. So you see someone who they feel like a real natural. In that role, it feels like maybe it's a Cooper DeJean, where Cooper DeJean comes in. You're not sure, is he going to play safety? Is he going to play nickel? But he's just a natural in that spot. So do I feel awful about the comparison? Of course I feel awful. I wasn't prepared for this in any sort of way. I was thinking about
this will make you appreciate Shields' level of preparation. For
maybe I write an article about you do the Oscar noms versus football teams, but is there a little insensitivity behind it? maybe just a small bit there.
All right. Do you have a prediction?
Yes, I do. Do you have a prediction?
I have a prediction.
You guys haven't put anything on record yet?
No, not yet. It's a little early for us.
I have Eagles 27, Chiefs 24. I feel good about that because when I look at, I really think back to the Bills game just a week back in the ways that the Bills were able to get the stops they needed. I think Vic Fangio, who, again, it was an emotional conversation. For me, maybe not as much for Uncle Vic, but they just need 1 or 2 stops. I think that we're going to need 3 throws from Jalen Hurts. I think he showed the ability to do it against the Commanders. I think that you're going to be able to do it in this game.
I like that. Vinny, we'll wait for yours. You can. Yeah. We'll tease that. Shawn, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me on.
That's awesome.
Shawn, you're the man, bro.
Hey, I appreciate it.
To have all those movies memorized like that is wild.
133 movies in a year.
He's got more than that.
It was a slow year, Fran. It was slow. You got 300 prospects. Maybe we'll get a
Sheesh. Shawn Syed of Sumer Sports. Follow him everywhere. He's the man. Thank you so much, Shawn. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Shawn.
Thank you.
All right, Julia. Should we do Gerald McCoy or should we save it for Avon? What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's give you a little tease. Keep you coming back for. Well, we could do it. Let's do it. All right. We will. How about this? We'll make this the close of the show. Does that work? Yeah, that's fine. So let's say our goodbyes and thank yous now. and remind people that, when it gets to the point, if you're watching on Fast, if you want to watch the end of this interview with Gerald McCoy, you can check it out on allphly.com. Vinny, what have you thought of Radio Row Day 2?
Things are starting to heat up.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are starting to heat up. People are starting to come in, fly in, come in. Tonight really starts like all the crazy events that you guys always hear about. So, I see what the night brings.
See what the night brings. We know you're not a drinker.
Oh, man, we should have showed them my microphone.
Oh, you have the stick mic.
Man, let me tell you, the microphone, it was nice.
Okay. He's got it with him. That's right. They're on their way back.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Fran, this is your first Radio Row.
It is. It's cool. From what I understand, as Vinny mentioned, it's going to get crazier as the week progresses here for Radio Row. Obviously, last night was a circus, but no, I'm excited. It's so far so good. It's a bigger version of what they do at the Combine from a Radio Row standpoint. So it's cool. This has been fun so far.
A couple quick super chats to get to before we get to that Gerald McCoy interview. Madio says he has a place to stay in the Garden District and no ticket. He's looking forward to using Game Time for the first time.
There we go.
Fantastic. Love that. And CDP says, has tough, detailed together replaced the 5 core values? That's actually a really good question. I feel like we don't hear much about the 5 core values anymore.
No.
Tough, detailed together. Not bad. All right.
And I love the change in the tough, detail together. What's the word I'm looking for? The tense.
Acronym?
Yes.
Yeah.
The different tenses.
The consistency of it?
Yes. The consistency of it.
Yes. Yeah. They're all adjectives.
Yes.
Although no, they're not. They're together.
Tough together. Either way,
together.
Yes, they are not. Which is what drives me crazy.
We are tough. We are detailed. Together. We are together.
Was it detail or detailed? I thought it was detail.
I think it's detailed.
With what CDP what CDP gave? It was detailed.
I think it is detailed.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Either way. Gerald McCoy.
Jermaine Johnson. Is he coming over?
Yeah, come on over.
Well, let's get Jermaine Johnson. Then that way we can put
1 second.
We can put Gerald McCoy on. We're gonna have Jermaine.
We got two more.
What's going on?
Headsets.
How are you, Bo Wulf?
Jermaine, Fran.
Come on, man. We live right now. Come on over here.
What's good, Bo Wulf?
We got one for Q.
Fran Duffy. Good to meet you.
We have another headphone set.
You want to pop out?
Here, I'll jump out.
Okay. Come sit next to your man.
Just a couple minutes. What's
a
up,
couple
fellas? What's good? How's everything, man? Yo, how's yeah.
Just hold it real quick.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
That's what everybody wants.
Wait, let me see. You feel me? Hold on. Give me a little bit more time.
There
you go.
Yo, how's Radio Row been, man?
Man, it's been fun, man. Really just hanging out with Bowden is the main thing. Got my wing man with me, so.
My dog. Yeah.
Man, it's
so
been cool.
You guys got to be happy for Makai right now.
Very excited about it, man.
Yeah, man. Yo, this kid, worked hard, worked his butt off, man. Now he's in the big dance. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. So, I wanted to talk about that. You guys got a prediction on the score?
I got the Eagles.
Score prediction. I ain't heard that one yet.
Yeah. I got the Eagles winning it, though.
Yep. I'd have to say Eagles winning. I don't got exactly a score prediction, but let's think about it.
It's a good game, though.
I think the Eagles are going to put up good points. Their defense is good. Chiefs are obviously going to put up points. Defense is not as good.
So I don't know about that when they play a lot of man.
They do. I'm just saying, though. I'm trying to look at it objectively.
Okay, baby.
Because they both going to put up points.
Special teams.
It's going to come down to defense and special teams.
Yeah.
Because they both going to put up points.
What they say, offense sell tickets, defense win championship.
Offense, they better score some points. Hey, we done been in that boat. Look.
Check me out. So now, Jermaine, Florida State guy.
Yeah.
We have a Florida State guy in Sweaty J.
Yep.
So, what do you think? How many sacks does he get on Sunday?
Ooh. Sweaty. He let us show up in big moments. Let's say I like to put a 2-piece on him.
Ooh.
On the big stage.
On the big stage. You got to think about it. We dream about this moment.
Hey, did you see Sweaty J got the biggest sign in here?
Yeah, next to Jalen Hurts up there.
You probably noticed it.
Nah.
When you first walk in, got the big woo.
See, they already know.
Yeah.
They already know. Hey, my little dog been balling too. Nolan. I think he got one of them too.
former Bulldog as well.
Yeah,
that's right.
Bro, yes.
That's right.
So I got a lot of.
Yeah, what's it like watching all these Bulldogs together?
Well, I played 2 years with them all, so I know they're high character, but they also can ball. But we were talking about it earlier. It doesn't matter about roster, it matters about culture. And me being their teammate for 2 years, I know they're all built the same way. So to be able to have all those guys come with you and be on the same team, I already know what they got over there. They built it the right way, and obviously they're reaping the benefits.
So many of those guys on this team. Who were you closest with?
It was funny. We were all very close. Nolan, Kobe, Keely, Jalen. I mean, we was just in Miami last year. So after they.
Right.
So they're my dogs, man.
Listen, you got time off. You can do what you want. The season's over. You can do whatever you want.
You see him over here looking like this.
He's trying to keep going, man.
We was all in Miami.
Don't get him in trouble.
We was in Miami. Come on, now.
The season's over. Do what you need to do.
We was treatment.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Good treatment.
You got any good Vinny?
Treat yourself.
You guys got any good Vinny stories?
Man, look, Vinny, my OG, man. He told me how it is when I came in.
No, he shot it straight.
I mean, yeah. So he's just like, look, because I've always been like a stop the run guy. Obviously, I like to get sacks. I'm a pass rusher, and I've been like that. And it was sometime my rookie year, like, look, I know you like to stop the run. He's like, you better get to that quarterback. And he just telling me how it is. I'm like, okay, you got a great point. So he kind of woke that up in me, and a lot of tribute to is how he led me when I was a young buck coming in.
Love that. Look at the smile on your face.
My guys, man. I miss my guys, man. These my guys, man.
The play that you made against the Eagles last year.
Which one?
Like when you're rushing, you come off. I think you forced the fumble, right, and they get it.
I forced 2 turnovers that game.
There's a one play you made. It's like the best play I saw all year long.
Okay. The one that went into Quinn's hands.
Yeah. The pass deflect.
It was funny. I had it was a blitz where I had the number 3 receiver, and I faked like I was blitzing. And I turned, and I just see the 3 who was the tight end at the time. He was just like sitting there. I'm like, oh hell no! I'm gonna try to go pick it. But by the time I got there, he already caught it, and then my hand just went perfectly on the ball. And then I'm like, look, I still think he has it, so I'm trying to like get him down.
It's a wild
and
play.
then I'm looking, as I'm spinning him down, I'm looking, I see Quinton running. I was like, yeah. And I'm like, well, it's just it's an ultimate team game.
Yeah,
I will never get a stat for that. It would be probably like a pass
PBU,
PBU, but they don't help you in contract talk.
Exactly.
You're a linebacker.
Listen,
yes, it does.
A little bit. But then what about the other one I forced when I hit Jalen's arm and the ball went and it was another interception? That'll never.
It's a sack?
No, it's not.
Because the ball was coming.
Because it goes forward. It's going forward.
It was an
it was going forward.
Yeah,
you won't.
Which is fine, but it's the ultimate team sport. That's who I am. I don't care. I want to win, and I like creating opportunities for my guys. Obviously, I want to make plays. I look good. I play good. I like to be in the spotlight, but I'm a team guy. I like to help my guys make plays. I think I'm gonna get the rest on the back end.
There you go.
There you go. That's what the OG taught you.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, thank you guys for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
Man. Really
on behalf of Bounty,
appreciate the invite.
We appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Y'all, man.
And that'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast. Another episode coming today at 6 o'clock, and much more content to come. So check it out on PHLY on YouTube. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. Fran Duffy, Shawn Syed, Quincy Williams, Jermaine Johnson, Vinny Curry, Julia making it happen. We will talk to you later. And as always, we love you. All right, one of the pleasures of being on Radio Row with Vinny Curry is when he gets to run into a teammate. And we have with us now Gerald McCoy, the former All-Pro NFL defensive tackle. Gerald is the co-host of McCoy and Van Noy on Yahoo Sports, which is recording from the Toyota Land Cruiser set on Radio Row this week. Tune into McCoy and Van Noy with Gerald McCoy and Kyle Van Noy on Yahoo Sports. The show brings fans inside the locker room and breaks down the game through a player's point of view, and that's what we're here to get, a player's point of view. 2 guys who played together. Mm-hmm. Gerald, you have good like Vinny Curry memories.
When we played football, every player, regardless of position, kickers included, you have to have a couple screws loose.
Yeah.
Everybody, all of us have them. Vinny just happened to have a couple extra screws that are loose. I have multiple in my own right, but Vinny has some when you're trying to fix something and you're trying to figure out, man, where is this screw? And then you look under, you like, oh shoot, all 5 of these screws is loose. That's what we found out with Vinny. You move something back, you're like, oh, he got about 10 screws loose under there. We thought it was just 4. But nah, man, I tell you something about him. He loves the game. Him being a champion is no surprise because of how he played the game. There's a way to play this game. You can't just go out there and play it. There is a way to play the game, and Vinny played the game right. And I didn't have a lot of teammates who played the game right. Obviously, with the success we didn't have in Tampa, he played with a lot of guys who did play the game right, which is why they had so much success. But I was fortunate in our short time of playing together to be around him who played the game the right way. It wasn't about him. It wasn't about his stats. It wasn't about I need to go get it. It was about what do we need to do to be successful as a team? And when you haven't won and you bring in a guy who has won, it doesn't matter how much individual success you've had. LeBron James was the MVP of the NBA. He learned how to win from Dwayne Wade, who was already a champion.
Sure.
And learning how to win, I just wasn't fortunate enough to be in Tampa long enough when they did win.
I know.
But there's a lot of things I learned about how you win. This is what we did in Philly. This is how we won because we did this. I understand this ain't how this work here, but I'm telling you, this works. And you can either take the info and understand you might be individually successful, but there's a reason you haven't won. This is what we did as a unit. And this is why we won. And that's what Vinny brought.
It's hard in a league, in a game where there are so many players, and it's not just one player who matters. And like the NBA, where that could be the case. Vinny, you have talked a lot about the Eagles culture and what makes it successful, as you have been in other places. What is it that stands out about that?
Oh man, just understanding the end all be all. The end at the end of the tunnel, there's a light, and what all the overall purpose is of the goal. So. Yeah, it's crazy, which brings me to my next question. Down that we here versus, the Eagles Chiefs Sunday. Gerald, we have to ask, what do you think about Jalen Carter?
So, some people are naturally gifted and overly talented, and that's gotten them to where they're at. And Jalen Carter is so gifted and so talented. The crazy thing is he's an all-pro in year 2, and he don't even know how to play football. And if you know football and know what, literally the game, you know what I'm talking about. He's making all the plays he's making off sheer instinct right now. Being a dog, having natural gifts and ability. Vinny knows what I'm saying because he's been in a meeting with me where I'm telling you, this is the protection. This is happening. He's sliding this way. Vinny, go over there. I'm going to go over here. They going to double team. I'll hold him. You go around. He's not doing that yet.
Yeah.
And look at what he is. Imagine when he actually learns to play the game of football where he's winning the rep before the rep. That's when NFL honors, either his name is going to be called or when they list the finalists, he'll be in there every year. He's that level of player.
How long did that take for you?
I made my first Pro Bowl in year 3.
Is that when you felt like you understood the game more or no?
I made my first Pro Bowl in year 3. I was an All-Pro in year 4. I didn't learn how to play football until year 5.
Okay.
It's crazy you say that because I want to go way back to when the first couple episodes I was saying, man, we were talking about you, and I said, yo, Gerald was like a quarterback on the D-line. He'll tell you, especially you have one of those brain farts, damn, what was the play? Don't look at me like that. You know what you did. I mean, it's because we're talking about communication between Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. But it was Vinny, you play with guys like that, and I brought you up on that. I was like, boy, I can tell you, if a run hit, he know what linebacker or what safety was supposed to be in the box or who wasn't there. So
that's how you got to be, man. That's why I was offended when Tom Brady said defenders ain't smart. I'm like, hey, you speak for whoever you play with. Listen, the way I play, I was limited athletically. I didn't have what Jalen Carter had or even what Fletch had. I didn't run a fast 40. I didn't lift the 225 a lot at the combine. I had a great get off in my mind. I was tried to make sure I was the smartest dude in the room, and I won the rep before it happened. So I put myself in position to where it's like, man, how the heck did he get back there so fast? Because I knew what was coming. I knew he wasn't going here because he's sitting right there. Why would he go over here? That's stupid. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go.
And
go ahead, Vinny.
And I want to say this. One of the things that I learned from you, right? Because you got to have great ears, and you got to willing to learn from somebody at a time. One of the greatest things, I ain't gonna say one of the things. One of the greatest things I learned from you, even from I was down in Tampa when I came back to Philly, that I used was, my man, why you using that? You trying to beat the man in practice, or you trying to beat the man you're going against on Sunday?
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, at first I was like, what do you mean? And then you go back to it. Now you're trying that move that you've been trying all week. It ain't working.
Interesting.
Like,
That's not how he's going to block you.
Right.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying.
I took that and
That's
ran
what
with
I'm saying. Learn to play the game. If I'm prepping for Lane Johnson, who I knows is going to cheat the count, and he blocks a certain way, why am I trying to beat Bernard in practice so I can get in meetings? Good job, good rush. That ain't going to beat Lane.
That's great.
So you lose reps in practice so you can be ready for the game. Yes. There's been times, Vinny will tell you, I couldn't sniff the quarterback in practice. You know why? Because I'm not worried about beating him.
Right.
I know I can beat him. I beat him all training camp. I have to get ready for them. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about knowing how to play football.
I think it's interesting because there's, to the Brady point, I think there's a misperception that like the smart guys on defense play linebacker or safety, right? And that defensive line is just sort of all about talent. And so, like, I think we've actually seen this with Jalen, some improvement over the course of the season. Like, when he wins that Rams game, it's because he's been setting up that fake stunt. He fakes it and then beats the guy right away, right?
But we also got to take into granted, so Tom Brady's always played 20 years.
Yeah.
So that's how it was 20 years
Can I
ago.
break that down even more?
Sure.
So he fakes the stunt, right?
Yeah.
You know why it worked? It didn't work because he set it up properly. You know why it worked? It's because he had help. Nolan Smith had been beating on Havenstein all game.
Okay.
The protection slides to the right.
Yep.
Okay. When Jalen comes down, he knows he's at to balance the rush. When he jabs that center, the center looks. But the only reason the center looks, if the center knew he didn't have help, he wouldn't have looked to the left.
Okay.
He thought he had help with the guard. The guard was so worried about Nolan Smith. When they slide this way, the guard's job is to sit and hold in the A, but keep eyes on the end. Nolan was burning that edge so fast that the guard said, forget Jalen, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to help with him because he's getting killed on the edge.
Yeah.
Jalen said, here I go. Oh, you gone? I'm going to just go. Because Nolan was doing what he was doing, it helped Jalen at the end of the game. And now the protection has to decide who's more dangerous. Well, obviously the guy in the middle is the most dangerous, but that should let y'all know the level that Nolan has been playing at because they said he's so dangerous with what he's been doing all game. I would rather go get him now than block this guy that's right in the middle. And they did it 2 times in a row. I talked to Cooper Kupp. He was in studio in the NFL Network, and I said, I broke it down in front of him afterwards. He was like, bro, they did it 2 plays in a row. I said, yeah, that was stupid. I mean, you just can't do it. But
I want to say that the series before that, Nolan was cooking.
Yes.
Yeah. And he had a sack, boom, and he was starting to heat up. They were trying to slow that momentum down, which I'm a little biased. Nolan Smith is one of my favorite players on the defense.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
that dude was a beast.
Because Vinny played the game the right way. When you see a guy who you might not look at the paper, man, this dude got 15 sacks. Watch the game. I'll give you an example, and Philly's not going to like this. Chris Jones.
Yeah.
As great as he's been, he'll go into Canton, and they'll list Chris Jones defensive tackle. The greatest plays he's made in his career in the playoffs, he's been a defensive end.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a Swiss Army knife. But last week in the AFC Championship, arguably the greatest game I've ever seen him play. I'll tell you why. What he did to the offensive line was so demoralizing that it changed the whole aspect of the whole way they were calling games. he was taking the right tackle and putting them 3 yards in the backfield. The right guard, the center, the left guard, the left tackle. He was going up and down the line.
Pick a guy, kill
just
him.
taking them and putting them 3 and 4 yards in the backfield. Fletch used to do it from guard to guard.
Yes.
Guard, center, guard.
Yeah.
Fletch, it didn't matter. I'm going to pick on you. Chris is doing it from tackle to tackle, and he did it last week in such a way that James Cook was running through the defense, and they just stopped using him.
Yeah.
Now, Josh Allen starts to speed up his operation. The offensive coordinator starts to change how he's calling the game because this guy
– we're in the panic mode.
Everywhere. It does not matter. And he's taking grown men and saying, hey, you're going to do what I said do. And I watched Fletch do it over and over. That's what Chris did last week. That's not going to show up on the stat sheet. But I guarantee you, Kellen Moore, when he's breaking his film down, he sees it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the impact that these guys have that he's talking about with Nolan Smith, which we know what that leads to. Broken protections and leaving an all-pro defensive tackle one-on-one with a center or just not blocking him. That's what impact can do without being on the stat sheet.
So for this game, to me, one of the most interesting questions is how do the Chiefs, in the middle of their offensive line, decide to try to block Jalen Carter and Milton Williams? Do you think that Trey Smith can handle Jalen Carter one-on-one so you can double-team Milton Williams, or are you double-teaming Jalen Carter so Milton can maybe win those one-on-ones against their left guard, which is probably their weakness? How would you attack it? How do you think that they will try to do it?
I told Milton last night, I said, yo, bro, I'm
Milton
so
is
proud.
my guy, man. I remember when Milton came out in college, he was training where I was rehabbing. So it's great to see Milton play.
I was just about, I said, man, yo, congratulations, man. You take advantage of every opportunity. What's what you call taking advantage of every one-on-one opportunity you get.
Yeah. Milton, man, a guy like that who had all the physical gifts, came from a smaller school, and Philly took a chance on him, man. He's making the most of it. But to answer your question, it's going to be on Andy Reid. It's not going to be on the offensive line. I did an interview earlier, and they said, what's the not obvious thing that can win this game? How the offensive line blocks Philly when it matters.
Right.
You have 60, I'll say you're going to have 57 minutes of Andy Reid to be able to diagnose his defense.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, we've seen it. Last year versus the 49ers, he drew it up. Patrick Mahomes has grown up here. We know that. But last year on that 2-minute drive, all he did was he's wide open, step out, he's wide open, that's being drawn up. This year in the AFC Championship, when they ice the game, send everybody this way, pull it, leak him out, drop it off. Go this way, have everybody look that way, P. Ryan leak out, just drop it off. That's drawn up.
Yeah.
When the Kansas City Chiefs played the Pittsburgh Steelers on Christmas, and they talked about how fast Patrick Mahomes is getting the ball out. I love working around Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Kurt Warner broke that down, and he said, people think getting the ball out fast is just a plan. There's a technique to it. You have to do that before the play. So it ain't just my first read, give him the ball. That's not how it works. You got to manipulate the defense a certain way. You got to know he's going to be here. You got to, shift him. No, you go over here because this is going to be open. If it's not, look and put it here. That's being drawn up, but they have the perfect operator in Patrick Mahomes. So it's not going to be on the offensive line to be able to do this all game. But at some point, Nolan Smith is going to be right there. Jalen Carter is going to be right there. And Milton is going to be over there. And a guy who's been hit and sacked more than he's been since he's been a starter is going to have to deal with those guys blocking those guys one-on-one or however they do it. You see the Rams panicked. The Commanders couldn't do it. But none of those teams had Andy Reid calling the plays. And that's where I start to break down the game and start to see, what can happen. But you got 57 minutes of dealing with something that can't be coached. Speed. Philly has all of the speed in the world. I call them the Philadelphia Bulldogs or the Georgia Eagles. They done brought in all these guys from Georgia with speed, and this is what they do, man. They got speed at the front, middle, and the back end. And you can't coach speed. But you know what you also can't coach, which is what he had when he came to Tampa, experience.
Yeah.
And that's what this game comes down to.
There you go.
Man, that's what you call dropping the mic.
Gerald McCoy, everybody.
Yeah.
You can find McCoy and Van Noy on Yahoo Sports, YouTube, and all major podcast platforms. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Of course, man. This is my family, man. Thought I wanted to go sit down with my brother. Of course, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Much more on the other side here on PHLY.
We all silly like the mayor.